Hello, my name is Carlos Alvarado. This is MPA 510, Week 3. The overview of the slides, so it's going to be Luther Gulick. I'll talk about Robert K. Merton, Paul Appleby, and closing statement. Notes on the Theory of Organization by Luther Gulick. What I did like was on page 79 where he's talking about the division of work and why he divides the work. He states that if one worker if the workers get split up and do a certain job compared to one person doing from start to finish, that they will be more efficient if once they're all split up into different divisions. And for my modern day example would be when I used to work for Department of Public Social Service, they would have split the case in between 3 to 4 workers. So one worker would work on the beginning, and that was the checking in process. Then the next worker would work on the interview process, and then the next worker would work on the holding on to the case for the next year. And so each worker did not do from start to finish, and it was pretty efficient, and we got the cases done a lot faster than if we were to hold one case from the beginning to the end. Another example, on page 83, he's talking about just having one supervisor manager, and in working with the LA County, that is very true. Everybody has one supervisor that they are assigned to, and you do only report to that worker, and it's a chain of command. And unless the supervisor or the manager is not there, then you do report to somebody else. But for the most part, you only have one supervisor manager. Thank you. Bureaucratic Structure and Personality by Robert K. Morton. One of the it found interesting was on page 97, and he's talking about how the ideal organization is just like Max Faber stated, and it should be structured and should have split into divisions, and it should have like their own roles and their own goals. And my modern day example for this would be Los Angeles County. They're split into several departments, each have their own chain of command. Each department has their own goals and their own jobs that they're responsible for. And also on page 101, he's talking about the depersonalization of relationship between the client and the worker, and because they're just the workers are focused on just the rules and not focused on the individual client. So my modern day example for this would be when I was working at the Department of Public Social Service, clients would feel like they were being ignored due to their being ignored of what they were wanted to say, or because we would go based on certain rules and regulations and reporting, and they wanted to be only based on their current situation, but clients felt like they were ignored. And another thing that Mr. Morton talks about is where if this was a private sector, like the client would be able to choose a different, uh, like they would be able to go to a different facility or uh, different different organization, but because it's a government, it's all going to be the same rules and everything. So most clients always feel like they're not being their individual rights or feelings are not there and they're not being listened to. In Government is Different by Paul Appleby. What I found interesting was on page 123, where he states, the public nature of the government business thus makes for a great difference in organizational discipline. Government employees often discuss their work with others in a way that would cause immediate discharge where they are on payroll of a private organization. So I think what Paul Appleby means by this is that the public sector has different rules that if you were on their payroll, that you would be fired, because you're a government employee or You fall into a different discipline. And my modern day example for this would be at my work, we have the just culture policy. States if you like make a mistake, an error, and you report it, and it was not by reckless, like it wasn't intentional or like reckless, and it's something that can be fixed, then they will educate you, and so you don't get fired for your mistakes. It's more of a learning process compared to the in the private sector. If you make a mistake and the employer wants to fire you, they can. I do believe all three concepts still work today. They might need updates depending on the facilities or location, the population could all have a big effect. But for the most part, these concepts are still relatable in today's world. And I would just like to guys to thank you for watching my video. Thank you and have a good one.